Yes, the girl, yes.
Yes. Big D. At your darkest times, will keep you motivated.
Just growth. Growth is always, I'm obsessed with growth, not just personal growth, but just the growth of people around me. But you're still gonna have dark times, but you gotta think about how you can be an example to somebody in those dark times. So in order for you to keep a tight circle that I already have, you gotta be able to know somebody is looking at you, because your dark time is gonna come regardless. It's life. You're not always gonna be happy, you're not always gonna be upgoing, you're not always gonna be on top. Eventually you're gonna be at the bottom. My example is to be as best as I can in the dark, not to let you see me in it, but mentally I know I'm in it, but mentally I know I gotta help you because I know your time is coming. So that's my motivation in the dark, just to know that you'll go through it. So if you see me going through it, you'll be like, oh, okay, he made it out of there, so I can make it out of there. That's my job, that's my gift, that's my blessing.
Hey, Sharon, can you go back to that brother right there? Can you say something for me real quick? Say Coach E game for all season for me. No. My brother right here just asked the question.
Ronnie B.
Yeah.
Coach E game for all season.
Coach E what?
I just had to hear that voice, brother.
We're just trying to get you to talk.
Man, what radio station you work at, man?
Actually, he was our guest on our first live pod.
Yeah.
Mr. Ron Brown.
That's Brumman.
That's Brumman.
Whoa. But no, all jokes aside, every day we at the gym, right? He trained at the same gym. Everybody think we either cousins or brothers. I don't know how to take it sometimes. Maybe it's racial profiling. Maybe
No, it's the eyes.
I thought so too.
It's the eyes.
I thought so too. Guilty.
Oh, that's what it is, bro?
Next question goes to me.
Britannia.
So it's not about sports and things, but how did you know Sharon was the one?
Oh boy.
First of all, Deb ain't said shit all night. And she gonna chime in with that. But, you know, when we were younger, we were together in 10th grade. For a lot of y'all that don't know. I was telling somebody a story about this last week. We were together in 10th grade, and she went to Constant. And I went to Bedford, so we wasn't in the same school. So, you know, a lot of people don't take those relationships real serious, especially as a young teenage boy.
We did from out there in Yonder. We had to come out this way.
Yeah, but y'all women though, so y'all gonna take it extra serious. But young brothers with options is not gonna take it too serious. So when we were younger, we was together probably about 6 to 8 months. She worked at the food court at Soul and Movies. I mean, she worked at the movie theater in Soul and Movies. I worked at Wendy's on them Fridays. So she came over to the food court and was trying to place an order. And at that time, my brother was the cashier. And I walked up on him like, yo, who is Shorty? So he started talking to her for me. So he was like, hey, my brother think you cute. So we started talking back then, but as a young, dumb teenage dude, like we all do, I used to bring her lunch when I didn't have to work, so I had a little car. So it was one day, she called me like, yo, I'm hungry, I want some Burger King for lunch. Can you bring me a Whopper? I'm like, all right. In the back of my mind, knew I was breaking up with her. So, see how your face changed? You thought it was serious, didn't you? You about
to bring up over a Whopper? Yeah. Here's your Whopper. We done.
Hey, look, guess what? Hey, I never showed up with that Whopper. Ever. That was my breakup. Never talked to her ever again after she placed her Whopper order. So we go through life, but I'm like 24, 25 at my dude house playing the game. Be like, man, yo, I'm hungry. I got this pizza hookup. You want some pizza? I'm like, yeah, sure. We go to Pizza Hut. Guess who the damn waitress is? Karma. The damn waitress.
Is that on Rockside? Pizza on Rockside?
No, Pizza Hut is soda.
So, yeah, soda. You know, with the fake plants hanging from the ceiling? They used to stink a little bit with the spider webs on it. Yeah. They called it fancy, but they never dust them damn plants that was hanging from the ceiling. But she walked out. I done already did a college football bid with my brother G. Bush. So I was a little bigger. She ain't really recognize me. I seen her walking around the corner. I'm like, damn, she looked like Cher. Then she got closer, saw the name on the name tag. Damn, Cher.
She was like, where my Whopper at?
Like I said, she ain't recognize me. Yeah, right. Last time she seen me was sophomore year in high school, so I was a good 195. When I was like 24, 25, I was a good like 280. So huge difference.
Absolutely.
I'm like, hey Sharon. She was like, hey. Trying to think like, this motherfucker know about that urban gear. So yeah, right, with the urban gear.
That urban gear. Don't get that urban gear.
The urban gear. This is on the episode that she was on with Finances and Love. Go ahead and listen to the whole thing. But I'm sitting there talking to her. She still has no clue who I was, right? So we end up placing the order. She walk away. I'm like, yo, I think that's Sharon from 10th grade. You like, what? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm pretty sure that's her. So she come back. I'm like, yo, you remember me? She was like, nah, who are you? I'm like, Evan. Immediately walks away. Immediately walks away. So she come back with the pizza. I'm like, yo, she definitely spit on this pizza. Don't think we should eat this. So we sit there, eat the pizza, everything, have a good time. She never comes back until she brings the check and everything. Didn't even fill up the pitcher of water. Dre, you know the little dirty, cloudy jar of water they used to put on the table? Never filled that joint back up.
You're supposed to get a thing of water.
At least double up or refill something. So then we leave, pay the tab, walk out.
That was not me. That was
Edit that.
She's so upset by this story. So angry.
She was happy at first.
She's happy at first. She still ain't get her one.
So we walking out to my dude's truck. Next thing you know, this waitress come running out after us. Like, which one of you guys are Evan? I'm like, me. Oh, here. Sharon wanted you to have her number. That was back in the day when you still had to write the numbers down and everything. So I'm like,
one of these.
It literally was on the napkin, kid. Was you there? Was you in the car? Wrote it on a napkin. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make her think that I ain't about to call her. Wait like 3-4 days before I call her. Fair for the dramatic, girl. And I had to mess with her confidence because she thought she gonna send a lady after me to give me the number after she could have just said, I'm sorry, here's my number.
I'm sorry.
No, because I thought you went to jail. You left when I last seen you. You were skinny.
Oh, so that was jail.
I thought you went to prison. I'm like, I'm about to talk to this dude. Like, you went to Pizza Hut with a bunch of young dudes eating pizza. Y'all split up pizza. You went to prison.
No,
Eating pumping iron. Eating pumping iron.
She literally said, how long was you in? You wasn't that big when we was little.
Racial profiling.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, this was blood, sweat, and tears. That I got this damn big. You gonna simmer me down to prison time? Blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, it definitely is blood, sweat, and tears. So anyway, I called her that day, probably like 3-4 days after. We go out on a date. This is no over exaggeration or nothing. We have not been apart since then, since that day. So it was just a different vibe when we got back together and started talking and getting to know each other again after that. Haven't been apart that day, and she made me feel comfortable with her in certain situations. I've never really been a big lovey-dovey dude, but I was able to do that with her. So that was the main reason why I knew she was the one, because she made me feel comfortable in that lovey-dovey state.
Great question, Brittany.
I thought his brother was
Where you come from, Ellie?
Light skin is growing before our eyes. We are in the building.
Yo, she take light skin to another level.
Hey man, you know,
Different kind of light skin.
hey, you know how that is.
Yeah. So, we are coming to our last guest. This guest, you may know him if you listen to 92.3 The Fan, which is one of the biggest sports channels in the city of Cleveland. An old former teammate of mine at Ohio University. He has a show on 92.3 The Fan. The Barbershop with G. Bush. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Garrett Bush.
is tough. It's a high chair.
Yeah, it is.
Man, if I fall, I will sue you.
He's scary. Can I join you two gentlemen for this conversation?
Come on, bad guy. Pull up your high chair, as G. Bush said.
Pull up. This is great.
Flash the bottle for the camera, Brady.
That's his t-shirts.
I don't know what's in that bag. That's something scary.
Never trust a man with no beard.
I can't grow one.
So, G. Bush, glad to see you, man. It's been a minute, bro.
And listen, hold on, me and myself situated.
Mm-hmm.
My situation over here. First of all, I gotta say, shout out to Ramon Shavers in the building. Listen, I'm like one of the most dangerous people to bring in. Don't let me speak at your wedding. Don't let me be at your family reunion. See, I know where everything hitting. You know how old I am? I've been around.
Hey, mess around and get it wrong.
Wrong dude. But I want to shout him out though. Like, so I come from Canton. Let me set this up. So I come from Canton, you know. So in Canton, they go Canton, Akron, Cleveland.
Say it.
Right? So when LeBron be talking about he from Akron, he really be meaning that because all the Cleveland dudes think they fly. All of them. You can't tell a Cleveland dude nothing, bro. Nothing. The first thing they say, oh, polo. I only wear polo. That's all I wear. I just met you, dog. So I meet Ramon Shavers, right? And it's crazy because we all in the same room, but we was all in the same recruiting class.
Yes, sir.
So like all of us, we like, 18, and we all think we fly, right? But Ramon was the flyest one though, man. He used to wear like it was like he used to dress like it was like some old like Prince, but it was like a thug Prince. It was fly. Like he would go to these icebreakers, right? So like it's crazy. He would go to these icebreakers, right? And where we was at, it was like when we went to OU, it was like 2.5 black people there.
Absolutely.
It was like 2, like, so when you meet another black person, he was like, oh, you just knew him. So Ramon Shavers, he used to come out and he always, he could cut hair. He cut everybody's hair on the team. Mm-hmm. So he kept his stuff crispy. And he would wait you out. He'd be like, nah, I can't get you today. But I looked at him and his hair is perfectly cut. His joint is fire. I'm like, obviously you cutting hair today, right? Because you look fantabulous, pause, but I mean, so he used to go to the icebreakers, right? And back then when we was coming up, like it was right in the middle of like you could either wear Timberlands everywhere or you could wear jerseys. And so you could wear a jersey, but like they would put it over their shoulder. I think Evan had one of them on. He had a shirt. Like he stayed with a white beater on. Like Evan never had sleeves. Evan never had sleeves. So no sleeves. So the Ramon used to come up with these Durangos. Y'all remember Durangos?
I'm so glad you said
them
that.
Durangos was like high heels for men. Like you had to learn to walk in them Durangos. Shayla know. She that's why. like she got, and he used to have them fly because his jeans used to be low-key tucked inside of him. And it was like crazy, but like it was crazy. Like, yo, so he used to be at Boyd Hall. We both lived in Boyd Hall, right? And so I'm getting somewhere, hold on. We was in Boyd Hall and we used to go down there. And I'm so proud of him because he had everything set up well. Like everybody else was like, we would be coming in, he made you feel bad if you didn't have no 5-year business plan. He sit you down and cut you up and say, so how your books going this week? I didn't know I was. He tricked you into